Hey there guys, welcome back. Maverick here today with another episode of Bocchi the Rock. And actually I do believe this is the penultimate episode because this season only goes on for 12 episodes. Will there be your next one? I certainly hope so. But we're moving ahead of ourselves, right? At the end of last episode, I think we are getting right into the cultural festival, the school festival, whatever you want to call it. And of course, Bocchi and company are slated to perform at it. Now, being that this is the last but one episode, it probably makes sense to think that the final performance will happen maybe in the next one, right? Or it could have. Honestly, I can't remember, but I do recall that they're supposed to, we are supposed to have some more fun during the festival before we actually get to the performance. So I do have a sneaking suspicion that that's probably what this episode is all about. So with that in mind, let's move directly into the episode. All right, let's begin in 3, 2, 1, play. Oh yeah, I remember. We are going to be seeing we are going to be seeing Bocchi-chan dress up a little bit. There's Scorpius. What, is your school like completely filled with loners or something? Oh, yeah, she's gonna be dressed up as a maid. And of course. Real's just like, can I just wait here? Just check like wherever it's. Oh, oh, she knows. basically, using Western speech. Here we see Goto Hitori in her natural habitat. Oh. Hey, it's a Bocchi in a maid costume. This girl. You would think that if someone like Bocchi's personality, I do wonder how she will handle like criticism and whatnot. As long as you're on the internet, you're gonna have to face these kinds of things. So, especially if you get bigger and bigger. Dun, 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 dun. Hearing the opening again just reminds me once more. I can't wait until like the final performance and final song. 幸せ. You know, once again though, every time I listen to this opening, I just think again how amazing this adaptation has been, and actually the support for this series as well. You know, I fully thought I would be watching this, and you know, it probably turned out into a sort of like mediocre adaptation. Probably not that many people would watch it, not that many people would like it, but hell, guys, it's been doing really, really well. One of the top performers of this season, I would say. They rummage through all of their trash cans. Kesakuben. You know, I always want to call them Yakusoku Band. The kanji is just a little bit different. Well, there's a first time for everything. And they're gonna try it with Bocchi wearing her maid uniform. And these two, no reaction? Yep. She's actually more scared. Bocchi's more scared of other people. I hope you're actually having fun and just thinking about having fun, Bocchi-chan. Aren't you supposed to be helping out? You know, the funny thing about this particular episode, or this particular chapter in the manga, is that because it's made focus, right? Uh, and as I said before, the hold on, actually, this part is funny, so let's just wait a moment. Actually, you know what? I think I'll talk about it and during the ending there. There's a little fun little reference here because they're doing the maid stuff in this episode. Oh. Oh, snapped out of it. Me too. There we go. Um, Tried playing in a swimsuit. Oh, that is. Oh, that's a reference to TM Revolution. It's funny, playing in a swimsuit thing, because there's actually another band that I follow whose lead guitarist is actually also a model, and she has a YouTube channel where she plays in a swimsuit. Again, I'll talk a little bit more about this in the ending, in the musings section. And of course, she has to do the magic spells in maid cafes. Oh my god, this animation adds so much to this. How did this turn into a magical girl thing? Oh my god. That's not quite exactly what they do in maid cafes either. She went like full magical girl here. Definitely suits her as well. Oh, are they actually gonna make the reference? It doesn't make sense, but okay, never mind. It's just and then Rail's just like hey, there's some would pay for that. I remember it was a Gibson, right? I mean, his dad definitely was a huge rocker when he was young, right? And he's the one who pushed Bocchi to play music. Not to mention, he actually also manages Bocchi's YouTube account. That's that's kind of sort of the truth, though. Of course, they're not going to show it. Yeah, she has a solo part. Some more heart to heart time? Hmm. Here we have Bocchi. Wait for daydreaming again. And of course, the Budokan. lots of people. Huh. This song sounds so Western, actually. All together now. Aye. Nice. Warming up her lips as well. That's a nice little touch there, actually. Ah. What do you Hey! Oh. Ah. Shvatari is so cute. Hey, it's those two. Hey. And she actually brings her alka as well. And of course, they're gonna end right before the performance. See? Of course they're not. They got to leave the ending for, the actual song for the next episode, right? For the grand finale. I mean, I really wouldn't have it any other way. And normally, I would be, like, really pissed at all of this, but I can understand it, right? I can understand it. You gotta save something for the finale. Anyways, I will see you guys after this. Alrighty guys, that was it for episode 11 of Bocchi the Rock. Just a fun little episode all around, and once again, the anime, the adaptation really did it a lot of justice, and the voice acting, directions, the little bits of flair in the animations and whatnot, all brilliant, right? And I mean, it's just a fun thing, right? So I first want to talk a little bit about some of the references, if you will, before we get into, well, I guess not quite references, but some things that just weren't able to be adapted that I thought really was kind of missing out. So I mentioned before that the author actually really likes to make references to current popular bands. In a lot of in the manga, and a lot of the page spreads, he actually, so the author actually puts the puts the band members into like into sort of like the iconic poses or iconic envy scenes of popular bands. So one of them actually, especially relevant for this episode, is because there's a band that I really like from Japan. It's an all-female rock band called Bandmate. Some of you may have heard of it. I feel like people who really do try to listen to all-female Japanese bands should probably have heard of Bandmate before. But anyways, if you guys didn't know, it's a band where the entire entire gimmick, if you will, in a sense, is that they all play dressed up as maids, you know, and with some elements of maid cafe in there, but they play very hard rocking music, right? And so in this particular episode, in this particular chapter, where, you know, they had all the band members dressed up as maids as well, right? They actually recreated an iconic scene from one of Bandmaid's MVs. I believe it was Domination, the song Domination, and basically draw out one of those scenes there. So I thought, I do wish they could have like kind of made that reference here, especially because some of the other references I feel like they have to be staged, right? Because they're basically showing the band members dressed up in different stuff and then making a deliberate pose. But in this essence, in this scenario where they are going to be dressed up as maids anyways, I do wish they could have like really push that reference. And of course I also have some bias because Bandmaid is one of my favorite bands in the world, so I wish they could have done something for it. But it is what it is. And on the topic of mentioning other bands here, so I do want to quickly also shout out, you know, one of the, it's not quite a reference, but it just led me to think about it. So obviously I've said before that one of the things, you know, one of the main character settings that Bocchi has is that she actually is quite the pretty girl and also has a very nice figure as well. We didn't really see that much of it in the anime adaptation, although we did see a little bit of it when they were doing that sort of like fantasizing about Bocchi being in a swimsuit and whatnot, and that is canon. Like that is not just like some fantasy and showing her figure and whatnot. She's supposed to be with that kind of a figure. So I thought it was they kind of like did not go there back in episode 1, where one of the first references were made. So they instead did a reference here, and I just thought it funny because not only, you know, the entire hilarity of imagining like Bocchi being able to do something like this, but I also found it funny because one of the other female bands that I follow, their lead guitarist actually did do something similar to this. So you know, obviously like playing in skimpy clothing, this isn't necessarily anything new, all right? And on YouTube, you have tons of these kinds of videos, right? Whether it's guitarists, bassists, or you know, even piano or whatnot, and you name it, there's probably something related to it, right? But this one specifically caught my attention because it's an, you know, it's not just a YouTuber, but you know, a player in an actual band, and you know, it's not just so the band in question is called Alfred. I think I mentioned this before back a few episodes when I was talking about how the musical similarities I found between the music that Kisugu band were putting out versus Alfred. I feel like it had that kind of same style, and their lead guitarist, who coincidentally is named Rio as well, right? The same as Rio. She used to be, or actually I think she still is a Gravure model, right? So basically a swimsuit model, that kind of thing. And so when she started her little channel, obviously she did upload videos of her playing in a swimsuit as well, which I gotta say is definitely very distracting. I'm not gonna lie, although her guitar skills are also quite authentic as well. So it's kind of hard to figure out like where exactly your attention is supposed to be focused on, if you guys get what I mean. So feel free to check that out as well. She is on YouTube, Rio channel, you know, literally Rio channel, or Rio from Alfred, and you can probably find her as well. And she doesn't upload all that much, and she rarely uploads full songs, but there are a few of them that I really do like. But yeah, just a little something if you guys are curious about the you know, playing in swimsuits kind of thing. Okay, and yeah, that would probably, you know, I have to say though, just doing that itself isn't necessarily going to net you a lot of views, right? You still need to do some, because there's too many people doing that, honestly, nowadays. So it's actually not that easy to stand out. It's really not that easy to stand out. Like the Ryu channel, like her, you know, that guitarist I was talking about, even though she's got the skill, she's got the looks, she's got the figure as well, her videos rarely break 10K, to be honest, 10,000. So it's a cutthroat world out there nowadays. All right. I feel like that was kind of a little bit of a tangent, but I just thought it funny. And obviously later on they made the TM Revolution. I think that what's that song called? Hot Limit. I think he has a famous MV where he's playing on the beach with. What is it? It's like tape or something, like black tape, and he's basically only covered in black tape. Not necessarily playing an instrument, more like dancing, but it's a common reference is all I have to say. Um, and what else here, right? Talking about yeah, I don't really think there's too much else to add for this particular episode, right? I mean, it's really just them having fun, playing around. I mean, it is nice to see that they now currently understand Bocchi enough to realize like where she's run off to, how to find her, and this is just her, and basically accept everything, right? The girls are basically all completely used to Bocchi's behavior at this point, and so it's just that it's just business as usual for them, and that's always nice to see, all things considered. And obviously we got that little character growth and heartwarmingness as well. You do get the feeling that Bocchi is also opening up more and more. She's not just completely wandering off, with her friends by her side, with her bandmates by her side. It does encourage her to actually be there and not chicken out and really see things through, right? And I feel like that is also important because the Bocchi of old, if her bandmates were not here, Bocchi would probably just run off and basically just stay in that in her natural habitat by the trash and whatever, all the way until the cultural festival ends, right? That's probably what would have happened to her if she was not playing in the band. So we gotta respect that, and we gotta acknowledge that as well, and acknowledge her bandmates who are all very good friends to them. And yeah, all that's left is to actually wait until the end of the season, right? There is another thing that I was kind of curious about, which is that they actually played a song there, but I don't think they don't actually credit there. I mean, before Kesuku band were going up, they were talking about another popular band who was up there playing, right? And I was kind of curious about like what that music was, but they didn't really credit it, so. Who knows? I don't know. So we'll have to see, right? In any case, yeah, I don't think there's too much else to add for this particular episode. So all we can do is wait until the next one, and hopefully they give a great performance. I do hope that it's actually a new song. Actually, and they could always just go with the opening, right? Station Complex, but. I do hope that it's a new song and we'll have one final new song, new performance before the end to cap off this wonderful season. So I will see you all guys then, and yeah, stay tuned. Bye bye.